friends, and welcome to yet another episode of Pause Talk. And today we have very wonderful Luckey Tyagi with us. Welcome, Luckey.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Monica ji. Delighted to be here. And thank you for having me here.
So, Luckey is a women's empowerment coach. She is a women's breakthrough coach. And as the talk unfolds, we will come to know how she has empowered her own self and how she is now actually empowering so many women around her. And for all of that, I will first ask Luckey to please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Monica ji. And since I'm a poet and I use my words to facilitate change, I'd like to begin my introduction with a few lines. जीवन भी मैं, जननी भी मैं. जीवन भी मैं, जननी भी मैं, साथी भी मैं, भगिनी भी मैं. मेरी अग्नि परीक्षा लेने वालों, तुम भूल चले हो ये शायद, सब रोग दोष हरने वाली हवन कुंड की पावन अग्नि भी मैं. उसी पावन अग्नि की एक लौ मैं भी हूँ. And like you already introduced me, my name is Luckey Tyagi, and I call myself God's favorite child, and I'm an author, speaker, performance poet, and a women's breakthrough coach. So basically what I do is that I work with women who have either been through domestic violence or abuse of any kind in their relationships, or women who are contemplating divorce trapped in a bad marriage, or women who have just come out of divorce and are struggling to cope with the divorce trauma and divorce shaming. So I help all these women. I coach them to rebuild and reclaim their lives and their light. So that is basically what I do.
Superb, superb, Luckey. You are doing awesome. And the poem was so beautiful. You recited in a very beautiful way, and it was really wonderful. And this is a very wonderful, nobody on my show has introduced themselves like this. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, so as we go further, I will now request Luckey to please share her professional journey, because yeah, we can understand this is what she's doing now, but that is not what she was doing years back. So how did your professional journey start?
So my professional journey, Monica ji, started very young, just out of MBA, and I was picked up for a job in marketing from my college campus. I was one of the few people to be recruited through the campus recruitments. So life was great. It was amazing that you're one of the few people to have got a job through campus placements. And I was excited to move to a new city. And after doing my MBA, I was excited to work in marketing, because at that point of time, it was a new field, you know. Everyone was excited. People were like, my parents were a little hesitant about me going into marketing, but I was determined because it was exciting. It was what was happening. And that's how I set out into it. I began my career in marketing with a company that was manufacturing computers. They were one of the biggest at that time.
Right.
So that was how my journey started professionally. And I had big dreams of making it, you know, big in the corporate world. I thought I'd be a CEO once, you know. That was my dream. Yeah. And considering the kind of person I was, I think everyone else also expected that from me.
Yes, yes. Yeah, life happens. Then we all have dreams, and then life happens. That is what we always say. Yeah, so life happened to Luckey also, and life gave her both things, lot of joys and lot of sorrows. And joys made her happy, but sorrows built her. Sorrows built her, and sorrows helped her to grow into what she has become today. So that is where she had her first pause, as we had discussed before in our intros also. So Luckey, will you be able to share what is the kind of pause that you had, the first pause that you had, and what was all it about, and what happened in that pause? Was it a self-imposed pause, or you had taken that pause yourself?
Okay. So like you said beautifully, I have had so much joy in my life, and the joy has made me who I am. But I think the sorrows that have come my way have made me even stronger and have made me the person that I am able to help so many people now. So what happened is that after, like I told you, I started my journey in marketing. And then at some point of time, I had this calling to be into the entertainment industry. right? So I wanted to be an actress. That is what I felt called to do. And so I started auditioning a bit for roles. And I got a major role as a, as a vamp in a television series on Doordarshan. So that was another dream that came true professionally, and I was excited. And while I wanted a corporate career, now my focus shifted to having a career in the entertainment industry. And I was excited because this role was awesome, and it came on my platter, and I did it very well. And nobody believed that I was a first time actress. I got so much praise and so much applause, and I felt very fulfilled. I realized that this is something that I really love doing. And then I was offered more roles, a couple of them. And then that is when, as happens, women are told ki it's time for you to get married now, otherwise
Yeah.
it'll become late.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
was 26 by then, and obviously I wasn't too pressurized. Like, my parents have always been supportive, but yes, the expectation to get married was there. And so that happened. It was an arranged marriage that came about. And of course, because I had two failed relationships earlier, and also I came from a semi-broken home where I had seen that the marriage had failed for some time and then it had come back together. So marriage was something very important for me, very, very important. And I was excited, and I used to read a lot of books, and we all have these fairy tale expectations of marriage and rose-colored
Yes.
spectacles. So I thought
Yes.
life is going to be great now. Okay, let's get married. And before my marriage, I even told my fiance that, see, this is what I do. I'm an actress, and these are the roles coming my way. So this is what I'll be continuing to do. So I hope you're okay with it, because I didn't want to hide anything. And they said, yeah, we're okay with it. But once we got married, it was a whole ball game. Like you said, when did the pause come? So that is when the pause came. My life literally came to a standstill, not a pause. It was like it was frozen right there after my marriage. Everything that any girl imagines, it was absolutely the opposite. My marriage was not a marriage, it was a nightmare. It was a literal nightmare. I was not allowed to work despite having been said that you could continue working earlier. My marriage was fraught with infidelity, mental abuse, physical abuse, violence, everything. It was enough for me to just exist to be tortured. Everything, my views, my choice of profession, my choice of dress, books, music, ye kyun padhte ho, wo kyun sunte ho? So everything was like, and I had to agree with everything. If he said it was day and it was night, and I said, nay, it's night right now, that was the end of it. I would be beaten black and blue. So there was actually no reason for it, no reason except that I existed. So that is how the pause came. I literally lived in isolation. I was not allowed to go home to my parents. Even when my father was hospitalized with a heart attack, I was not allowed to go visit him. When I said, please allow, he said, Tum to gumakkad ho, you just need an excuse to get out of the house. So that was how my pause was. My Sabziwala was my only portal to normalcy. That was the only human being I met other than my ex-husband during those years. So the pause was forced, as you asked. It was completely
Absolutely.
forced.
Absolutely. Yes.
And to
And this,
make matters
yeah,
worse,
yeah.
I only gave birth to two daughters. So that was also, from their perspective, that was something very bad. And when the third pregnancy happened, I was manipulated into aborting it because it was suspected to be yet another girl. So the pause was forced, and it was a little torture at that time.
Yeah, yeah, we can understand that, Lucky. Absolutely, the way you are saying, and I'm sure a lot of women will relate to this because lot of women have to undergo all of these things, and even today, young girls who are so educated and they have such big dreams, and when we are talking about equality for girls in today's times, I can still see that a lot of girls are undergoing all of this even today. The mindset has to be changed even today. I'm not saying that, yeah, nothing has changed. Slowly things are changing up, but we are a very long way away from actually having that kind of an equality or equity for the women that we talk about, because that gender itself, no, it is a kind of a yesterday when I was in one of the meetings and we were talking about one book which is called The Second Sex. That means we are a second sex. We are not the same as the one. So calling a female as a second sex means that we are not at all given the equal respect. Even you forget about the rights. It is not even the respect that we are given for what we are. No, so I can absolutely have my empathy and for you. But yes, now that is the important thing, is everybody has that pause. So anybody who is listening to this, we are not asking to have any sympathy for Luckey is not here to gain any sympathy from somebody, or she is not asking that she should be given that kind of a pity for whatever she has gone through in her life. But how you can turn your circumstances into something which you can become, you can come onto the other side of the table and you can start helping. You become that person who can really help. So that pause which was there, or as she saw, it was a kind of a frozen life. Below that frozen life, the sapling was still growing. No, it was, the sapling was not stopping, it was still growing, because it is in the darkness that actually the seed sprouts. So that seed which was in her of that grit and determination, it was still there and it was sprouting. And that is what actually that pause helped actually to bring that seed out from her life. Otherwise probably it would not have died. If she would have had a very beautiful and very nice life, she would not be sitting here like an empowered woman. She would be doing those mundane jobs for her family, and probably she would be working as a simple housewife. And probably even if she was working in an MNC, she would be just going in that routine and doing whatever she's built. But now that she has had that kind of experiences in her life, she has become what she is today. So now I will request Luckey to please share post the pause. What is that she's doing and how she's doing it all?
So thank you, Monica ji, for pointing out that the reason that I speak about this is not for sympathy and not for pity. I do not need any of those. And I never want you to give that to anybody else also when you hear that. You know?
Yes.
So the reason I share my story is so that others who are going through this can feel seen and heard. And also I want to model possibility so that others know that if I could do it, if I could come out of it, they can too. They don't have to live with that pause or that frozen life or that subhuman behavior forever. It is possible to break through the barrier. So
absolutely.
That is the reason I share my story so willingly. And in fact, I am a very private person. So initially, it was a big challenge for me to open up about it. You know?
Absolutely.
So, but then sometimes your purpose is bigger than yourself. So then you really do it. You break through your barriers of shyness, of embarrassment, or whatever. And today I'm able to do it openly. So thank you so much for pointing that out. That was so wise. So like when this pause was going on, at a certain point, when it is not in alignment with who you are, you can only wear a mask, you know, for so many years. You cannot wear it for a lifetime. You will choke, you will lose your breath. So that is what happened with me. So I was trying to make my marriage work. Like I told you, it was important to me. I felt validated. I wanted to make it work, you know, because that would make me feel good. And we are always taught as women, we are always taught that making the marriage work is our job. If
absolutely. That is the condition. We are conditioned that come what may, you have to do everything to make your marriage work. And that is your responsibility, and that is where you belong. You belong to that place, and you have to make the marriage work. That is the conditioning that children are given, especially the like girls are given that kind of a conditioning.
Totally. Puri zimmedari shadi ki, all the burden of the marriage is put on the woman's shoulder. And then there are added things, you know, added expectations. Like I have two younger sisters. So, and I was the eldest. So then you also are taught things like, maybe not by your parents, but society around you here. If something goes wrong with your marriage, then it'll be difficult to find matches for other ones.
Very well said.
So that unsaid pressure is always there. So you do anything to make your marriage work. But like
Correct.
I said, if it is not in alignment with who you are, it is not in alignment with your purpose, with your authenticity, तो वो mask आप ज़्यादा दिन नहीं पहन पाओगे. You
नहीं,
cannot carry on. You will start choking, and that is what
correct.
happened with me. So when
Correct.
it came to be the third pregnancy being aborted, and then every time my daughters also being cursed for being daughters, so then it became too much. I knew this was not the legacy that I wanted my children to have. My daughters seeing me beaten up right in front of them
Yes.
when they were
Yes.
little. So then I knew this was not what I wanted. So I began raising my voice, I began questioning, and I began asking for better treatment, you know. But even then, the hope was that we will sort it out. The
Correct.
marriage will work, you know, and things
Yeah.
will change. But that did not happen. So when
Yeah.
I started raising my voice, I did get results, but not the results that I wanted. The result
Yeah.
I got was that I got thrown out. I
Yeah.
got thrown out with my daughters,
Right.
penniless. We were on our own. So, but
Yeah.
my parents supported me, of course. So that is when I decided, you know, and then things went worse, you know. Okay, I came and I was bringing up my daughters, but even that was not okay with them. Then the
Mm.
ego takes a brunt. How is she living without us? How is she
Yes.
functioning without us? So
Yes.
it's not
Yes.
okay either ways. So what
Mm.
happened is that my ex-husband took my children away from school.
Mm.
You know, he took them away from school, and then he would not let me meet them. He would
Mm.
not let me meet them. And for some years, I did not meet my girls. And
Okay.
the thing was, I thought at that point of time, because he had not allowed me to work, all my other batchmates were doing so well. I did not have anything. I started from scratch with small jobs. So I was earning much less. So I thought maybe he can give them a better life.
Right.
You know, so this is one lesson I've learned. You must have heard this phrase a lot of times. People say that if you love someone, set them free. And if they
Yes.
love you, they will come back. So this is
Correct.
exactly what happened with me. I cried hard and I thought, do I want them with me? Because am I being selfish in bringing them to me or
Mm.
having them with me, or will they have a better life with their father? So
Right.
I assumed they would have a better life with their father, but I was wrong. They didn't.
Yeah.
So for many
Yes.
years, I couldn't see them, but even they didn't have a great life. Their father remarried without actually, divorcing me. It was later that he fraudulently divorced me. Okay,
Mm.
so forging my signatures. So the story has a lot of. Even after that, it was
Yes.
happy.
Yeah.
And then he took away the children, and he won't let me meet them unless I agreed to that fraudulent divorce to take
Yes.
the case
Yes.
back that I have.
Understood. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so it happened like that. The children stayed with him. So one thing good that had happened was that I had taught my children, my daughters, our phone number, our landline number, which incidentally never changed in all these years. So
Mm.
after a few years, my daughters, when they were 6 and 7, they called me on that landline and they said that, Mama, we cannot live here and you
Mm.
must come and get us. I said, your father doesn't even allow me inside the society, inside the apartment. So how do I get in? They said, you
Mm.
just come, we'll jump the fence and we'll come.
Oh my God. Oh my
I
God.
went. Yeah, it's a very filmy story, but that is when you realize that films actually emulate life, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, everything it is shown in films is not lie. It is
Not a
what is
lie, not
taken
a lie.
from the real incidents, from the
Yeah.
real life.
So I
No, so
went
yeah.
to get them and they jumped the fence and they came. And then in between, we were stopped and we were taken to a police station. I was charged with kidnapping the children.
Mm.
It was not even informed that I am their mother. So when I
Mm.
told the police that I am their mother, they were also in a kind of a shock. But then
Mm.
they didn't agree to give the children to me. So we went from one thana to another thana. So it's that entire night. But that is the day, the Kali
Mm.
in me literally woke up. You know, mothers can do anything for their children. If I
Absolutely.
could send them away for their benefit, I could fight to bring them back also. And
Yes.
I said to that police station, whatever you do, I'm not going back without my children today.
Yes.
I will sit on a dharna. I will go to the prime minister. I will go anywhere. I will sit right here outside. But I am not going away without my children. And then it is like when you have that intent, the universe also helps. So then my
Absolutely.
parents spoke to
Absolutely.
some people, you know, and then people helped. And a lot of my colleagues where I was working, they helped. They came to the police
Mm.
station. So it became a big thing and they let us go. But
Mm.
you know what? My 6-year-old daughter had to write in that Rose Namcha, the daily diary, that we
Mm.
want to go with Mama. So that is
Mm.
the kind of trauma my girls faced because of all this,
Yes.
in that.
Yes.
So, and then we were allowed to go home, and the police told us that now we've got the children with you, so we're giving them to you, but please file for custody. So then I
Correct.
filed for custody, and since then, 6 and 7 they were, and now my daughters are in their early 20s, and that is the day I have never looked back. And that was the day I decided that I am not going to give away my power ever to anybody again. I will take 100% responsibility of my life. And I will not only take 100% responsibility for my life, I will help other people in similar
Wow.
situations.
Super, super. Amazing, amazing. This is so amazing. So this is how a pause which she had in her life molded her, metamorphosized her into a person who has all the strength and all the you can say Shakti. Kali ki Shakti की बात कर रही है वो तो Shakti. All that strength that she has got to not only help her own self, and she has become that kind of a role model for her own daughters also. Daughters who would have seen, probably they remember or they don't remember, because unconsciously they would have remembered that how their mother was treated, and now that they are there to support her. And hats off to the parents who are also very very supportive, and they have supported her in her journey to become a person who can now help and enable other women to stand up on their feet, to get that kind of a strength and fight their own challenges in their own lives. So yes, Lucky, this was our amazing journey that you have shared. And now, what is your coaching business? You can, in very short, tell us what is the business that you are doing now.
Yeah. So, business, yes, it's a business, of course, but it's more than a business. It's my purpose. It's my
Yeah,
passion. It's what I
absolutely.
live for. It's like what God chose me for. So all
Yes,
this that I went through had a purpose. And that
yes.
purpose comes out here. I
Hmm.
help women. I coach one-to-one, and now I'm going to have webinars also so that I can reach more people, because that
Yes,
is the intent. There are so many more women who are not speaking up, who are suffering through it, who need help, who need
correct.
guidance. So that is what I do. I teach women through my coaching. I hold their hand. I help them rebuild their agency, reclaim their life, and I teach them how to be their own sun so
Hmm.
that it will never in darkness again. And
Yes.
that is what I, basically help them do. And like I always say, a coach is only a navigator, a guide.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
real work is the people who do it. But
Yes.
I am here for you. I am here to hold your hand. I am here to help you do the work. I'm here to help you see the light. And that is what my purpose is. And when you come to me, I thank each and every person who comes to me for coaching, because you are helping me live my purpose. You think I
Yes.
am helping you, but it's the other way around. You are helping heal me. You are helping me live my purpose.
Wow, wow. This is so amazing. Very wonderfully said, Lucky. So, yeah, anybody who is listening to this pause talk and is still in that pause, no, you are not getting that courage to break open or break your chains. You have your own weaknesses or doubts about your own self or your life after you would have broken that barriers. She's here, Lucky is here to actually help you break that barrier, break those chains which have bounded you. They have, it would have also bounded your soul, because your soul is also tied there. So if you are able to listen to this pause talk and you are able to have some resonance with what she is saying today, you can reach out to her and she will be there all out to help you. And if you have already come out from your pause and you want to share your story, you are most welcome. You can ping me, you can DM me, and I will reach out to you, and you can be my next guest here on the Pause Talk. For last now, I will ask and request Lucky to please give a small message to our audience.
Okay, so this is the message that I always give. People ask me, why did you take all this in your marriage? Now, the reason I took all this in my marriage is because due to the failed relationships and the broken home, I felt that I was unworthy. I
Hmm.
felt rejected. I felt
Hmm.
unlovable. I felt undeserving. I felt it was all my fault. And I
Hmm.
would only be good and lovable when somebody else loved me. That
Correct.
is the validation. I was seeking validation outside of me. And
Hmm.
so many of us are doing that. So
Yes.
my first message to you is that you are worthy. You do not deserve to take this just because you feel you're not worthy. You
Mm.
are worthy. Do not seek validation outside of it. We are all worthy as is. We do not need that stamp of approval from another human being or a set of human beings or society that we call it. So just look into yourself. You are worthy. If you need help, ask, but know that you are worthy. And two, the second message is that after I came out, even though I was thrown out, all the blame was laid on me for the marriage breaking. And then divorce shaming is real, you know, people who get divorced have a tough time. So I would just want to tell everybody that divorce is not bad.
Yes.
Divorce is good. Divorce is a great option to end a bad marriage.
Correct.
So
Correct.
please stop divorce shaming. It is
Absolutely.
only needed in bad marriages. So what is a divorce doing? It's ending a bad marriage. It's something to be
Correct.
celebrated. It's
Absolutely.
something
So
to be
it is only
pleased.
an end of a bad marriage, not
Uh-huh.
end of your life.
Yeah,
So
it's
that you have
just
to
the end of a
understand that.
chapter. It's not the end of
Yes.
your life.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
So those are the two messages that I have for
Very well said. Very
women
well said.
and for everyone out there.
Absolutely. So just believe that you are whole and complete and you are worthy of your own respect, that self-worth. Self-worth is very, very important for each one of us, especially for women, because we have continued to sacrifice ourselves, our time, our life, our everything, because we don't feel that we are worthy of that kind of a attention, that kind of respect for ourselves. We give it away. We just give it on platter to the people around us. And we are not telling that you have to become arrogant, you have to raise a chanda and go around telling ki mere ko ye chahiye, mere ko chahiye. Nahi, just be your authentic self, and your authentic self is a very courageous one. So just be that courageous woman who can model for their own children, for the society. And that is when all the women who would be seeing you, probably it is your nieces and nephews, your own sisters, anybody around, the neighbors, somebody would be seeing, some little girl will see you and get inspired and then rise up like a phoenix from the ashes and be, they will become a role model in their own field. So thank you so much, Lucky. It was really wonderful speaking with you, and all my best wishes for you for your wonderful endeavor that you are taking up. And I'm sure, and I'm best wishes that you really reach out to as many women as you can. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Namaste.
Monica ji. Thank you for the work you do.
Thank you so much. Namaste.